Hey folks, this time we are going to look on testing the autonomous database disaster recovery with Google Cloud. Google Cloud is the only cloud from the Oracle database at X locations which lets you test the cross-region data card for free. So if you have a free Google Cloud account and you create a new linked OCI account, the OCI account doesn't have a restriction to which is limited only to a single region, compared when you create just plain OCI free account that's usually restricted to a single region. So this is a good way to test not only the multi-cloud but also the cross-region data card features what Oracle has with autonomous database. So let's take a look on that. So I'm going to start today just by subscribing to the Oracle database at Google and then linking the Google account with my OCI tenancy and then getting the autonomous database created. So like I mentioned, it's pretty cool that with the free credits, you can see here on the top of my browser, I'm on free trial, has some credits left, and I can just spin up autonomous database, but unlike OCI, where you are kind of like restricted to a single region, then with Google, we can use multiple regions. So we can actually test the cross-region data card and see how it works, which I think is really good. You can see I'm here now at the marketplace. I've searched Oracle database at Google Cloud, so I can just subscribe here. And once I do this, I'll use like a pay-as-you-go model. I'll use my default billing account. Additional terms, I'll just accept, and then I'll subscribe. And next step, if I remember correctly, we should be linking the Google account with the OCI one. Okay, so this one usually takes like just a couple minutes, so I'm gonna pause the video and then continue from there. So it took like a minute or so. Refresh the page and you can see now last purchased is there. So we can go to console and then we have to create this Oracle account. So I'm just gonna click on create account, and we'll see. Do I need to create a new account? No, not to reseller, personal. So I'm just gonna fill this form and then show you what happens after that. So I filled a couple of like the owner, email, everything, but I figured like a couple of important parts here. So here's a cloud account name. I'm just gonna use CMO, GCP, CRs, or cross region, and then home region. So you can change it afterwards. And I think this is important for Oracle side. So you can see only the regions where autonomous database is available are visible here. So it's cool. Like we can see Montreal as a new region here. And then Japan has been there for a while, so you can see these regions being available more and more. And with Azure, you would have like a different set of regions available here as well. So I'm just gonna pick Ashburn just for the ease of it, and then I'm gonna create the cloud account. It's gonna take like 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm gonna pause the video afterwards. Okay, so that took like 20 minutes. Now we have the Oracle tenancy linked, and we can get started with the autonomous database provisioning. So there's a new UI action here with the create an ODB network for Google. I haven't tested this before, so I want to see like what happens here. It's actually nice that they'll have like a workflow on getting this done. So I can just have an associated network, and then, which is my default one. I haven't done here anything. Then the region US East 4, basically for the Ashburn, and then ODB network name. So let's just give it like ADB ODB, which is there, and then we'll just get it created. And now it's available. So now I have the ODB network created. I'm just going to create an autonomous database here. Let's just click create, and just gonna fill these. Let's do like ADB1. Just use the ADB1 for simplify. It's gonna be in Ashburn or US East 4. You can see the Oracle Cloud account here, which is linked. And then we're gonna do transaction processing. License included. Let's go with 23 AI. We can go with 2 eCPUs. Or let's use 4. If you don't remember, the eCPU is the new model for compared to the old OCPU model. So right now, like 4 eCPUs is around 1 OCPU. That might or might not change in the future. I do have opinions on that, but maybe not for this session. Okay, lowest storage, just what we can give. Then let's just use like a backup retention of 1 day. Gonna give the admin password here quickly. And after this, networking. So let's do private endpoint access only, just to have it, let's say closed, and then gonna use the ADB ODB what we just created. It's here, and then client subnet. There's no subnets available. So let's see. I think we have to go and basically add it first. Gonna pause the video and add quickly a subnet on the ADB ODB. All right, so to create the subnet, I actually have to go, I couldn't find it from the networking. So I went to the database at Google Cloud main page. And here on the left, you can see ODB network. And then when I click the ADB ODB, and here I can create a subnet. So let's just create a ODB subnet, and then let's give it a range, just a simple range 10 000/24, and this will be the client. So especially like you can see here, if we would create Exadata clusters, then we would need client and backup subnet. But in this case, we just need the client one. So we'll get it created, and then see after it's provisioned, then we can go back to the creation page and see if we can get the database created. So that took like 10 minutes to create the subnet, which was surprisingly long, but I guess on the background they will have to call some OCI APIs, and it takes a while to get everything set up. Nevertheless, like we have the subnet now here, so we should be ready on going to the Oracle database at Google, and then basically creating the database. So let's just go again on the autonomous database, and I'll just fill in the creation information. So I have the client subnet here, so I can just refresh if I don't see it, which is handy. And now I can pick the ODB subnet here. I won't give any other information here. Won't allow public access for now, just for the testing sake. And then there's advanced settings, just a character set. I won't touch that. So let's just click create, then wait that we have the database created. So here's my autonomous database now created. Everything looks good. Took maybe like 10 minutes to get it created. I can see the details here. The nice thing is I haven't logged yet on the OCI tenancy or OCI console at all. So this cloud account here, it's like I could log in there, and I think I made a video on that in the past, but then I don't need to. So that's nice. And I can get the connections here. and can get the wallet with the connections. So just to demonstrate, once we build the DR or the standby, I'm gonna show that I can connect to the database, and then we'll see what happens during the DR. So just validating first, you can see here, I have a private endpoint access only. I have a private endpoint IP and then the private endpoint URL. So I've downloaded the wallet. I have a VM where I have a SQL CL installed. Very, let's say, handy tool just to compare to the SQL Plus. So I usually install it just to connect easily. So I have it installed in my Linux VM, which is running in GCP in the same region. So now what I'm just gonna do, and I have it added in my path, so I'm just gonna type SQL here. It will, oops, and not the exit. We'll do SQL nolog. Sorry about that. Like this, and then we're gonna set the cloud config, so we'll know where the wallet is. Now we have wallet defined, and I can just use the connection string to connect to our autonomous database. There we go. So that's just to validate, we can connect from the private VPC what we have, and then we're gonna validate after. We're gonna build first the data card, so we're gonna have a standby, and then we're gonna observe what happens when we do or switch over to the other region. Now the fun part. So when we go here in the autonomous database details, we have the disaster recovery option here. So we can create a peer database. So if I click create, you can see it opens a new pop-up here, and then we can select which regions we're going to pair our autonomous database, like the primary with. So US West 3 is the only option here right now, and you can see some of the information here like RTO, RPO, and then we can also enable backup replication. We are not going to do it right now. Network access for standby, private endpoint access only. And then can we select so I think now what I have to go and do is basically create another ODB network in US West 3. So I'm just going to do it quickly. So going to the Oracle database at Google page and then create a new ODB network there. So I wanted to show this ODB network creation again, because I actually ran into issue here. So it failed. And I'm thinking, because I choose the US West 3 region here, I'm not subscribed in my OCI tenancy to this region, which is the Salt Lake City in OCI. So I went to the OCI tenancy, I subscribed to that region, and now I'm gonna try this again. So let's see if it works now. And this time it worked. So that's a good note to have. Unless you are subscribed to that region in the OCI side, then this ODB network creation won't work. So subscribe to that region and then create the ODB network. So I have the ODB network now created with the subnet as well in US West 3. So everything worked fine, like I said, after just subscribing to the OCI Salt Lake region. So let's refresh this. We should see. So this is the DR subnet here. I gave it a different CIDR block, and then we'll just save it. And let's see what happens next. So now it's provisioning our ADB1 linked it. And you can see the location will be US West 3, Salt Lake City, where the peer database or the standby database will get created. So I'm going to pause the video, wait until it's complete, and let's see what happens next. So it took bit of time to get the standby created. You can see I have now both the primary status is available, and then the new standby status is standby. Location is US West 3, and then the display name is _AGA. So if we go here in the standby now, I can see it, details on it, mode, read, write, maybe not totally accurate in a way. And then disaster recovery, okay, role is standby, one peer. And then from connections, if we look the connection strings, we can see a different host here, and also pointing to Salt Lake 2 here. So let's see now if you have it here in the disaster recovery, peer role, primary. So I can't do a switchover from here. So I have to go to the standby and then look it from there. So let's go to the standby. Click on the standby database and disaster recovery. Oops. Seems like I'm not navigating correctly. So again, I'll go to standby. Oh yeah, because this is the peer database. So let's actually go to the other way around. So we'll have to go to the primary and then select the standby. Let's see if it works this way. So it's the peer one. And yes, here we have a switchover. So let's do a switchover and see what happens. And I'm just looking it from the GCP console side. You could obviously monitor the same and do the same on the OCA console, but I do like to use GCP console for this. So let's click on the switchover and let's give it the ODB1 and confirm. And let's see, role change time. So this is when it was created, I think. And we'll give it a minute. Let's see here in the main page. Yes, role change in progress. So I'm gonna pause the video and let the role change complete. Okay, so now after some time, you can see the role change is completed. So my old standby in US West 3 is now the primary, and then the old primary has become standby. One thing to note, like after this transition was completed, I tried to connect. I had a VM in US East 4. I couldn't connect with some help from the nice Google folks. You have to go in your networks, and when I go here in I'm using the default network, I have to make sure that the dynamic routing mode here is global and not regional. So otherwise the routes won't propagate and you won't be able to connect to the database. So now if I go back on the autonomous database, I'll go standby. I have downloaded the wallet to my VM. And if I look the connections, I have this connection string here, which points to the private IP here again. So now if I go here, I have the NSLOOKUP command on the standby or current primary. So you can see it resolves to this private IP, which is one of IPs in my ODB network in US West 3. And I can also connect to the database now. So let's just validate that. And I'll set the wallet or cloud config to use the DR wallet, and then connect with my admin credentials. I haven't done any other setup here. So let's just use the I and then enter my password.
and we should be good connecting. There we go. We are able to connect on the new primary. So it's really easy just to test autonomous database with your free Google account. And the positive thing, like I said early on, is also that you can test the disaster recovery or cross-region disaster recovery with the standby database, what you cannot do in OCI. So compared to OCI, Google Cloud lets you to test it cross-region. In OCI, you always, with the free account, you're limited or restricted to one region, so you can't really test this out. But I'm happy that they've enabled this here. So if you got this far, congrats. I think this was a nice test. And just to summarize, so Google Cloud is the only place I found where we can test the autonomous database cross-region data guard for free. If you use paid account, then obviously you can test it. One thing to note is just remember to subscribe on the OCI tenancy as well in the DR region. Otherwise, the creation of the data card will fail. And the other one was for testing. Remember to enable the global dynamic routing for GCP. So that's it. Hope you liked watching this and have a great day.